those from Dire because no one can do anything with them. And throw my work shirt into the washer. Heavy devotion to last week. Well, it's the one place we haven't been is at the inn, which is down here. So this is the lounge at the inn. Believe it or not, sitting down at one of these tables with one of the characters won't let you have an intimate conversation with them despite this kind of being an open place, but then again, most of the spots you can do that are. Just to me, for some reason, this one seems a little stranger than most.
Nani? Nene.
Here you'll see it say your character's room. This is like your bedroom. You can use this to duel. Here's a chest for storing stuff. And the desk here will actually let you change your appearance down to your voice, your name, and your sex even. Go back and forth. And changing appearance, changing everything about your character as much as you want. Obviously, weapon's not going to be in there again because that's just to pick your starting weapon. You can change your weapon as much as you want anytime you want, since you're able to just go buy one and swap and work on different sword skills. Pretty much most of what there is to the inn. There are actually scenes that'll happen in the bedroom area with different members of the main party from the anime at times. Okay, that looks like that's Halford, so we're going to check.
Domo!
Yep, so Battle Hulk's finally back after being gone, I think, day and a half, more or less. Bring that in. We saw Yuki out here before. I've seen Yuki walk around here as well. Most of the time, from what I've seen, I'm pretty sure nearly every one of the main characters from the anime are here on Market Street. Occasionally, you'll find them at the park or overlooking, possibly walking through the plaza to get to another section. bought that and one other accessory, or the charm from the Nami shop. And that was because I didn't realize that there was a shop right there. So when I bought the first charm from her, it was actually like the third one available. The place was actually right up just before the second area boss. Might as well see if she's got anything new reaching that point. I'm probably going right past it, checking the soul here. There we go. So you can sort of just access their shop, you can just hit circle to talk to them, as opposed to going into the menu. So that's 12 attack and 51 DPS, but I lose 800 HP into strength, so it's not worth it. Yep. She sells like you are another item shop. She sells the necklaces, the weights, the rings, and she sells the neck, the hand, the neck, necklaces, bracelets, rings, and the waist hooks. I think she might just do these 3 items, but yeah. She does those 3 pieces of armor. And I think Steve is the one that's, yeah, armor merchant over here. Yeah, she does shield, attack, armor, and greaves. So obviously, any necklace, rings, and bracelets are the accessory shop, and then so is the weight. Here. And this one's like tucked right against the wall and a little bit more back away from everything. So that's this. And interestingly enough, like even like next to the flower carts and the fruit carts here, you can have conversations like that. Got more sort of cafe setup tables here where you can down and have a chat. If you come down here to the water though, you have to sit on the bench to do it, you can't just walk up and have a nice conversation. It's not one of those types of spots. And like I said, the fountain with the overlook along with the bell, the tables there, and the fruit and flower carts there as well. Have the opportunity to do that. Surprisingly, although you have like all the different shops you can use at Market Street, so I'm gonna locate them. You do have the weaponsmith, an armor smith. There's going to be a commercial that you need coins from doing skill change. I think it was the trade hammer who gives you elixirs that permanently raise stats. Here we go. So yeah, you have weapon and armor smith over here. Here's an accessory shop clerk and an item shop clerk, but like the weaponsmith in the market, or weaponsmith on Market Street, these four are also just NPCs. So you're not going to get any sort of like exception benefits from using them. I actually think I have any points this guy
Yo! Nah.
A little bit of a chat here. Yuki.
ねえねえ
Take more time talking to a couple more. Sit down. But like, why sit like that? When you can just like walk up to the benches and or the benches and chairs and things and sit in those. A little bit quicker and less time taking to do it. In fact, I am a little bit interested in what all the different actions that you can do in this are. Wave, bow, encourage. That's right, I have checked out a couple of these, but not all of them. Just basically checked out encourage and disappointed. Sit down, provoke, disappointed. Okay, let's go. Encourage, bow, and and then for like quick chat lines. Oh hey Angel, I like it. The only gripe I've really had is that giving party members new equipment is not easy to do. It takes a bit of build-up with the affection system to do it, but combat's really nice, fluid, and smooth. The story is great. It actually does a great job just like bringing a lot of the humor from the anime into the game with the characters. It maintains the same voice actors for them as well, like most of the games have. It flows right into the canon with everything else because they talk about things that have happened. And like you have requests you can take from people for like kind of side missions for experiencing items, and there's quests called events that show up on the field that you can do. And then through the compliment feature, when you're out in the field with a party, you can compliment them on using different traits of their personality which affect how they fight. So you can kind of shape the way your party members fight to be more to your liking. Like if there's a person you want to tank, you can have them like you encourage traits that make them draw aggro and tank more. But the music is really good, the graphics are nice, the voice acting's like right on. Like when you start watching a lot of the story scenes and everything, it kind of draws you right in. The big boss fights at the end of each area are much different than everything else you do. So those are really fun too. As soon as my one friend gets home and gets on to watch, I'm going to actually show her the boss fight for the second area. But to loosely describe it, the boss fights the skill selections, they basically use the same skills because you can switch your weapon at any time. And the characters use all the same sword skills that you would for the weapon they're using. But then, let me find one and I can go into a bit more detail with part of the skill system. Okay, so here's Silica. Alright, so here's the affection system window. Like, these are the different traits, and the bigger these circles are, the more she's likely to use them. And when you highlight them down at the bottom, it'll actually tell you what they do when they use this. So if you see on her status screen there, it says Show EX Skill. So over here in EX Skill, as you compliment them and build friendship, they gain these stars. And you put the stars on these different EX skills, and you can go from 0 stars up to or 5 stars total. But once you run out of stars, you have to build more with the skill level. And you can change these around. Let me see if I can... I don't quite remember what it is, but there is a way you can change their skills in here to different ones, but it resets it. But that just means you have to put the stars back on it, which isn't a big issue. But what I was getting at is, what the EX skills are is their different abilities that they have. And the amount of stars you put on the EX skill determines the frequency at which they use it. So 0 stars means they don't use it at all. 1 star means they infrequently use it. 2 stars means they use it a little more regularly. And then, like, 3 stars and up, they tend to use it more and more often. Up to 5 stars, which probably means they use that skill all the time. And I'd have to look through the tutorial menus again, because it does say there's a way you can change one of the EX skills to something completely different. And all that does is it resets the stars on it, which, again, is not a big deal, because then all you do is you put the stars back on it. But you can customize the EX skills to make someone have the skills that you want for that. So the thumbs up you saw on the different traits in her affection window mean that if I don't encourage it with complimenting out in battle, it doesn't drop down in size. So basically the skills that you select and put that symbol next to, or not skills, the traits that you put in next to on their affection windows, will keep that from dropping. So say you don't want... Say you have a tank, and they have a trait that draws aggro while tanking. You would put you would select that so that that never drops in size, regardless of how often you don't compliment them on it. And then say you had a trait that was like to you, you never wanted to ever use that on that character. You would leave that trait unchecked, and then as you went along, that would shrink and shrink and shrink until it disappeared. The different traits that affect how they fight only increase when you compliment them on using them. And if they aren't favorited, then they shrink every time you don't use it each day. Right, that's the other thing. At the end of each day, if something isn't checked off to be kept, it shrinks. So it's not like very often. It's every in-game day and they'll shrink. But aside from like it taking a while before you can give anyone equipment to make them take less damage and deal more, the only other thing that kind of I don't really like that much, it's not a huge thing, by far is it not game breaking, it's just very minor, and it's just the way that they programmed it, is that when you're out in the field, you can't talk to characters the same way you can in town, so you don't have a way to look at their affection to see which things you want to raise and don't raise if you forget. Because you have like 3 party members outside of yourself, and when you're using the main characters from the anime, they have about 5 or 6 traits each. So it makes it a bit difficult to remember which traits, depending on how good your memory is, that you're trying to raise and which ones you want to drop, because like, so you might have a trait that you've complimented on them so much that it's taking up a lot of space, and you like need to uncheck that so that it shrinks them to raise something else. At least I'm pretty sure that's how that works. Like, here's the other thing with the affection system. You can see on the outside of the circle in the 4 cardinal directions that there is 4 not conditions, what the heck would it be? There's 4 emotions, or huge traits, I guess you might call them, main features, that these traits fall under. So like, Airhead is more of a bold trait, caring is love, sexy falls under timid, and so forth. Like, everyone has these 4, they might be different, everyone has like 4 big emotions that all of their traits fall under. And where they are in the circle here tells you which traits that they're a part of. Yes, you can only have 3 people with you in the story at a time. But you can switch them out in town as much as you want. There's also multiplayer in this to actually play with other people that you unlock. And if I remember properly, what it tells you about multiplayer is that I think you can have 4 or 5 different players, and then each player can have 1 NPC partner. So you can have like up to 8 or so people in one multiplayer party. And by if 3 you mean can you only have you and 2 other party members? No, it's 4. It's you and 3 other NPCs. So you actually run around fighting with 3 NPCs and yourself. It's a 4-person party. Boss fights are much the same way they were in SAO. The big boss fights at the end of each area. there's basically a big boss bigger than anything else you've been fighting. And he has weak points. And he has parts that you have to take out to expose the weak point. And then with that, you actually... Yeah, sure, I can go do some fighting. Who do I have in my party right now? Silica, Suna, Argo, grab Yuki. And then, like how in the anime, boss fights at the end of each floor were basically like raids. That's basically what you do in this. Each boss fight is considered a raid party. So you have to choose between having a full raid party, 3 other parties including your own, or 2 parties including your own. Oh no, it's not including your own. You're not included in the group. It's like you plus 3 or you plus 2 other parties. Or you just go in with your own party. So it makes it really neat, because it makes it very unique from fighting otherwise. And you, and like you can give commands, like if I hold L1, you'll see through up, down, left, and right, I can say go for this one, dodge attacks, heal, or attack. And then I can tell them to use skill switch, which is where you dodge backwards, and a party member will like dash in to kind of like throw them off. Good is the good, which is the thumbs up, is how you compliment them. And then draw aggro would be how you tell another party member to draw aggro. But like in the big boss fight raids, if you hit dodge, everyone, or attack, everyone that's within the radius of the command does it, whether they're in your party or not. One thing I will say is this game does not have English voices. It is only Japanese voice acting with English subs. Alright, so here I can show you. Stray was using Cool, Yuki was using Spirited, and Asune was using Smart. Oh yeah, it is very smooth and fluid. Like, here, I'll show you. Here in the palette, I can change all of these to be skills. So like I have 4 different things set to the triangle commands, and 2 different things set on my circle commands. So without pulling up the palette menu, which is this, I can use all of these just by hitting the joystick command directions that it says, plus circle or triangle. Yeah, Battle they designed in this to be very fluid and have a little like... have as little interaction with like a regular menu like this as possible. My only skills that I have on here are slow curse, shield coding, and speeches. Alright, so one thing you'll notice at the end of a combo, I am doing a combo finisher, which is essentially in essence a sword skill. You can change your combo finisher in the menu, so you're not stuck with the same combo finisher the whole game if you want to change it.
Good job. これで決める。これで決める。行くぞ。
There we go. No. Sorry, I was trying to focus on that because he was a little tougher than I thought he'd be. Okay, so the boss fights are at the end of each zone, and it's similar to how it was in Aincrad. In order to advance to the next section of the area outside of the town, you have to beat the boss of the previous area first. Yes, there is an endgame. There is like level 90 enemies that are field bosses essentially, that'll spawn in certain areas. Like that was a field event there that I was just doing. Those grant experience and some like enhanced smithing ores to enhance weapons and things usually. Possibly some other items. And like the field bosses are like level 90. And then later on, there's dungeons you can go into which are like a defense mission, but you have objectives to do while you're defending. And the game recommends that you be level 50 for those. And there's a ton of those in every zone. And that's another part of the endgame. So there's those special dungeons, there's the field bosses, then there's also like a couple different multiplayer modes to play with other people that you can do as well. And to me, from the level that those things are, those seem like those are endgame. So, in each zone, you will find these little altars, and they have to be activated. These are the teleport altars. I love the way they did the floor boss fights in this. They're a lot more strategic because you have to look out for certain tells when they're going to do a huge attack. And you have to tell your party to dodge when they do that so they don't get hit. Also, they have a 3-part episodic content that you have to buy each part separately, unless you have the season pass, that you can do, which is probably also endgame. But yeah, you activate these, and then you can return to town with them. And these are how I warped to here from the get-go. when you activate these altars, you can use them to warp to different sections that they're in. So like you can see on the mini-map, there is a blue chest over here. That black/brown chest over there does not respawn, but the blue chest and the red chests do. So blue chests, as I'll show you over here, have a barrier around them, and that's because they're guarded by monsters. So in order for me to open this blue chest, I have to take out this group of monsters. Through this corner. So every sword skill has sword skill mastery, and every time you use a sword skill, you gain a point for it. Was replying to a text from a friend. So... something else I was gonna say about how certain things in combat work. Oh yeah, the chests, so yeah. Blue chests will like contain a item, and it's like usually the same item, just a different quality. And they respawn and they're just guarded by monsters. A red chest is guarded by like a really strong monster, and they have like the highest quality gear. Like my sword is from the first red chest that you come across. I just haven't changed off of it because there hasn't been another sword to show up in a chest yet. And I've had a blacksmith enhance this 3 times to improve its attack. So nothing I can buy in the weapon shop right now will actually outdo this. Oh yeah, like, you saw how it was doing a chain hit counter there? For each hit that you do without being attacked, the counter goes up and then it gives you a damage multiplier that increases each hit. So, the more consecutive hits you have without being hit, the more damage you start doing. And there is they called it a sword counter, or a sword gauge, I mean, and if you time your combo hits with the sword gauge, it boosts the multiplier a little higher than just tapping the attack button. Oh darn, they're not gonna let me use that on her? Okay. Okay, that's just for healing. We're not gonna use that to recover SP. But yeah, this was the first area. This is the second. And up here is the final dungeon area where the boss is for the second area. Compared to the first area, the second area had very spooky and eerie music, though. What you see up there by the zone line is actually just a lot of NPC players, because there's always a bunch of people that make it up to the boss and they're having trouble beating him. And like you sit there and you talk with them and they discuss like what the weaknesses are of the boss and everything. Oh darn, I didn't think it would activate this scene that soon. Okay, so there is an NPC in this that's part of the main story, and eventually you teach her how to fight, and she can be one of your party members then. But to not ruin too much about the plot of this game and what's going on with certain things in the story, like the big catch to using her in your party, like you can revive everyone else. You don't even need to use an item, which is really weird that they have revival items. Because all you have to do to revive someone is walk up to them and hold circle for a minute. But the thing with her, if you use her in your party, is that if she dies, you get game over. So you can't revive her because she's an AI, but she's not like Straya and Yui. So she wouldn't come back. Alright, so let's get into this boss then. My friend's kind of in a mood and she's not really up to doing too much. But I'm just gonna highlight this stream like I did when I streamed it a couple days ago for her to watch on her own time. So the boss room is up ahead. Right then, before we fight this boss, let's go over what we know about it. It's called the Grim the Provident. Yeah. The main body is dangerous enough, but it's also got two phantom limbs that can attack one after the other. Watch out for its horizontal swiping attacks. There's a delayed AoE attack that comes after it slashes. It's really powerful, so definitely avoid it. My advice is to destroy the main body's arms first. The phantom limbs will start attacking like crazy. You can destroy the limbs when they attack, That'll knock it down and let you hit its weak point, its head. Okay, so once again, I'm thinking the first time fighting this boss, I'm gonna go in with a full raid party, which is like 4 other parties at least. Because this one sounds like it's gonna be a lot more difficult to fight than the first one. That's all we know right now. Any questions? So, asking about general info, dangers, and strategies, that's just going over what they just told us already. General info will just give you his name, the dangers would tell you about the different attacks to look out for. The strategies would be the guy talking about taking out the main arms first. You're interested in joining the raid, I take it? A lot of raiding parties have fought it, but none of them have defeated it yet. Fighting area bosses isn't like fighting normal enemies. I think we could turn the tides on this thing if you joined up with us. What do you say? Fight the boss. Yeah, I'd like to join up. Sweet then, let's do this. So here's what I was talking about, Angel. You can go in with a full raid party, 3 other parties besides your own, 2 other parties are just going by yourself. Not like solo, you'd go in with your own party and no one else. Because of how dangerous this boss sounds compared to the first, I'm still going to choose to go in the first time with a full raid party. I know we can do this, folks. We'll win this time. Yeah. I think I'm going to throw on my shield coating and speed boost at the start of this. And see just how big he is compared to us. So as you can see, I tell them to dodge, and they all back up so they can hear me. So this is the one mechanic I forgot to mention, how to dash around like this to avoid attacks and get behind them. And you just tap a direction with R1. And like the game will tell you that when they're fighting after they use a skill, if you use a sword skill after they use one, you put them in a weakened state. They'll take more damage. And certain attacks, like my Sonic Leap there, will actually stun them when you do that, as opposed to just weaken them.
返してるんだ返してるんだ行くぞ行くぞ行くぞ行くぞ影取りを任せていいか行くぞ返してるんだ
Well, if anyone got hit by that, it was their own fault for not dodging back.
返してるんだいいぞ行くぞ返してるんだ最高だ
Sorry if I'm quiet, I'm kind of focusing on the area ball. Got him. Here we go. Yeah. Alright, so just like our first, thanks, Angel. So just like our first area boss, you get some ore for refinement from them. Obviously, you get experience, and you get a piece of blue gear. I've actually been wearing the armor. My main piece of armor has been from the first area's boss, and I've like enhanced it like a +2. And so like the interesting thing is you can fight the bosses over and over as many times as you want, and you'll still get that piece of armor. So like you can fight them to get like a piece with a better star quality on it, and then like you can start enhancing it. And Elizabeth actually has a skill that'll increase its star quality by 1 when you enhance it. But the skill has to trigger when she's enhancing it for you. You defeated the boss for this area. A new area has been unlocked. You may access it from the teleportation gate in town. Now we can move on to the next area. Alright, let's head back to town and get ready to explore this new area. Yeah, if I tried to do that with, like, just 2 other parties, our solo, I don't think I would have done as good. I definitely needed, like, everyone wailing on that boss. I could probably just do the first one with my own party at this point, because he wasn't nearly as difficult to deal with. I really want to check out that new area. I should be able to use the teleportation kit to get there. Alright, so let's check that piece of gear that got dropped. So that'll increase my movement speed, my dex, and my agility, but I'm going to lose 12 defense. But I see you have the epic armor. That was the drop from the first boss, and the apocalypse shoes are from the second. I'll take the defense drop for now because I can hopefully just raise it up to the same defense with enhancements. Like in the beginning, the game will go over a lot of the battle mechanics when it starts you off, so like any questions you might have about how to do certain things and time your combo hits, it'll go over that with you as part of the starting tutorials. And then it lets you actually do it. This is our NPC that we can't let die if we get in a fight with her.
どこかへ行くところですか?
俺か? 別にこれといった予定はないけど。
予定がないということは、つまり暇ということですか?
まあ、そうなるかな。
そうですか。
By the way, her name isn't Premiere in general. Just for a bit of a, not really a spoiler, but a bit into the mystery behind her character is, when Yui looks at her settings, as far into the programming as she can because she isn't able to look through all of the coding, she finds out that this NPC has everything set to default or null, and she doesn't even have a name. But like, as you go through the story for her, where you find these stones, which are part of the main storyline, for the mystery surrounding her, you find out that like, as she's grabbing these stones that are reacting to her, her parameters are getting reset to where they should be.
どうした?
一緒に出かけたいと思っていますが、無理にお願いするのも悪いので、黙って。
じゃあせっかくだから一緒に出かけようか。
Premiere is cute, and she's also one of those really weird characters the way she talks.
わかりました。そこまで言うのなら出かけましょう。
どこで覚えてきたんだ、こんなテクニック。
あ、プレミアちゃんたち発見。奇遇だね。こんにちは。二人でお出かけですか?
Hey, it's Sugo, our cousin Lifa, Sugo, Silica, and Elizabeth.
なあ、ばったり会ってさ。
ここんとこプレミアはあんたにべったりね。
そんなことないって。みんなも一緒にいたりするだろ。
何慌ててんのよ。別に変な意味で言ったわけじゃないってば。なんていうのかしらね。この子も私たちと同じ気持ちなのかなって。あ、それわかります。きっとプレミアちゃんも信頼しきっているんだと思いますよ。
話がよくわからないけど、みんなといると居心地がいいって話だよ
な。うん、そういうこと。
それでそっちは何してたんだ？3人でクエスト消化か？
I will foretell you, since it is only in Japanese with English subs, the subs aren't always correct translations, and sometimes there's a bit of misspelling or incorrect grammar. But, you know, it's nothing that you can't really look past if you're enjoying the game otherwise.
いえ、私たち今揃ったばかりで何をするか決めていないんです。
そっか。
プレミアちゃん、どうしたの？みんなで一緒に出かけたいと考えていますが、私が決めることではないと思い、黙っています。え？また不思議度が増したわね、この子は。
どうかな、みんな。せっかくだし、揃って攻略を進めるっていうのは。
私は大丈夫です。プレミアちゃんもそれを望んでいるみたいですし。うん、私も付き合うよ。じゃあみんなで一緒にフィールドを歩き回ってみましょうか。
よし、それじゃあ出かけよう。
Like, the Japanese voice acting doesn't bother me because I watch this in Japanese with subs. So, like, it's more nostalgic and welcoming to me to hear the Japanese voice actors.
はい、行きましょう。
Look at that smug expression on her face there. Nope, definitely not, Angel, I agree. It seems there's an area in the southeast part of the swamp that's connected to Premier's Quest. Wanna check it out? You lead the way, so you and Premier follow close behind us, okay? Sure thing. You head to the teleportation gate when you're ready. Alright, so since I accidentally, went to the part of Premier's Quest before streaming last time, and this game autosaves after every quest, pretty much more or less, when you come back to town. I didn't get to record that, so it's getting a bit late, so I will probably just end up showing this bit of the story with Premier's quest line, and then most likely I'll stop. Run over here. Actually, let's go. Enhance these shoes from the new ball.
いらっしゃい。リズベット武具店へようこそ。強化するのね。
Oh, those actually look like they're 2-star.
うまくいったわ。
Yep, they were 2 stars, and it triggered. And the really nice thing is that when she enhanced them, her skill triggered that raises their quality, so they're now 3-star. Higher defense, but I can deal 7 as close to 13 or whatever it was. Do you have any messages from the people that matter more? No. It's more people requesting to talk to us and fetch items for them. This is just going to basically be more cutscenes, essentially. but it's story cutscenes, that's why I'm showing it. This is going to sound a little bit crazy, but we'll have to head west for a bit and then south to reach the southeast. Alright, come here, let's go. So Angel, this is the music that played throughout most of the second area, by the way. Is this creepy music. And then when you went into the underground passageways, the connected areas, it was even creepier sounding because it was like more of a kind of ghostly sound music. Understood. Oh jeez, if we're gonna actually have me run around, I think I would have seen if I could have brought a party. This is gonna be a bit interesting. Yep, and see, you can even see NPC parties running out fighting. And you can even fight with them. They don't, like, join you, but you can fight the same things they're fighting to help them. Or if it's something that you want to fight, but you might be a little too weak to do it solo. So, this is the skill system for the weapons that I was talking about, that everyone uses. As you use your sword skills and your weapon, you'll get more skill points to learn each of these. So, I'm up to here, 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 and here. Next, I'll probably be learning the defensive stance and horizontal square. So, as you can see on Vorpal Strike on the right side of it, it says SP Cost and SS Mastery. That stands for Sword Skill Mastery. And that means that I've used it 42 times. Now, Horizontal Arc that I started with, I've used 914 times because this is the sword skill you have without having to pay for it, and it's your combo finisher by default. And I've kept it as the combo finisher because, as you can see, one of the things that Horizontal Arc does is it lowers defense by 15%. Oh, okay, these also have 1 star next to them because I've used them so much and mastered them, I guess. Did not notice that before. Okay, so I guess when you use something about 100 times, you get that star because I have that on Sonic Leap. Sorry, which is only 114 uses. Snakebite's got the star too, I just need to use Deadly Sin more because Deadly Sin is like a 7-hit combo, I don't use it as much. Okay, so when you hit pause, you'll see at the bottom in the middle there, it says event list triangle. So the event list is essentially what you have to do to continue the story. So right now we're pretty much continuing Premier's quest, which is the top one. In town there is an area called the Scenic Overlook, and that's what the Overlook Cafe is referring to. When you're in town, you go to the Scenic Overlook and you head to the cafe. Usually each time you have big story events like this after certain things happen. It'll tell you to go to the cafe and you'll run into a couple of the other main characters and have some conversations and discuss what's going on. In fact, if you want to see a lot of story scenes, Angel, where I stopped off before streaming the last time, the game forced me to do about like 7 things on the event list that were story. So there's a lot of cutscenes at the start of the last stream that are highlighted that are nothing but dealing with story and talking to the characters. Since we're doing an event thing right now, I guess it's not gonna let us use it. So another one of the nice things with how the actual AI in this game works is that if your character goes down from hitting 0 HP, your party members are actually able to bring you back the same way you bring them back without items. And they will do it. So if you're knocked down, you don't have to wait for a fight to end or wait for something to happen or a timer to reset. Your party will revive you when they're able to. Because there isn't a revive timer. You just have to wait till you're revived. Ooh, more battle music, but with just me and Premiere, I'm kind of a bit iffy on fighting anything right now. There's the chest up here. Here it is. Sensor code, okay. Check that out later. Let's see if the map is going to show me where I need to take her. Okay, we need to go to the ascent. Okay, I see where I have to go. Kind of traveling a bit in the wrong direction at the moment. No problem. I've had to get up, despite being the streamer, and do some stuff that I had to take care of as well. Alright, so on the PS4, clicking the right side of the touchpad brings up your skill palette. Clicking the left side will bring up the mini-map. Sorry if I'm just quiet, I'm just trying to kind of keep the general passing between zones that I have to do in head to save time here so I don't go the wrong way again. Because that's another one of the things they did in this game is zones aren't linear. Zones are wide open areas for the most part. There are some times where you're just kind of running through a gorge or like a valley. And it's straightforward, but there can still be multiple exits. Because you can have areas that'll lead to like 2 or 3 different areas. Oh, well they normally just lead to 2 other areas aside from the area you enter from. But yeah, see like this zone has 2. Well that's the standard, but... You can have zones that lead the way to progression towards the boss in the dungeon, and then just another exit that leads to a different zone. I'm still missing, I think, 1 or 2 zones from the first area, actually, as well, because of that. I just haven't decided to go back and look through them yet. Just be prepared for some slightly spookier music, because we're going to have to run through an underground passage here in a second. Let me see how many of these I'm going to have to go through. Yeah, I'm going to have to run through 2 of them. like, there were 2 quests when exploring this area that you had to do to progress further. And you had to stop a ritual both times to advance.
Huh?
Like the first time you ran into an underground passage, and you found that there was a monster in the passage that you had to beat to advance. But there was a ritual going on that was making him impossible to kill. So then you had to travel through the other pathway in a different direction through the forest here to take out the higher level monster that was keeping him from taking any damage. And then later on, in one of these underground passageways, you had it being blocked by a poison mist, and you had to do an event that was in one of the fields here to get an anti-venom crystal to dispel it. So they do actually do some stuff with progression where, like, you're stopped and you have to figure out what to do. Otherwise you can't advance. So yeah, that music only started to get spooky because yeah, see, there's 2 other exits here. There's a second underground passageway, and then there's actually a zone-in point. That's what I was referring to with the different zones.
Huh?
Yes, I can show you. You see, every main character from the anime is level 21 or 22. Like, I don't use everyone. I sometimes stick to the same group of people because you can only take 3 of them with you. But as you level up, they do level up. Like, we only just started being able to use Premiere in our party, but she's still level 21. She's been leveling up, despite the fact that we haven't been able to use her as long as everyone else. Each character has its own experience, though, because the characters in your party, they won't all level up together. They won't do it together in the sense that they'll level up at the same time. Each character will level up at a different rate, depending on what their experience is at. By the way, I don't know if you noticed on that boss, but Yuki actually got the last hit, one of her own party members. Okay, so the music in these underground passageways was just starting to get to the spooky portion of it, with a bit of an eerie instrument that they have going right as we left it, so it didn't really get too intense with the eeriness just yet when we were in the last one. Unfortunately, I can't avoid hearing the eeriness, because this is a much longer passageway. But I got interested by skeletons being aggro. I'll stop and let you listen to it for a moment, as it just picks up right where it left. Alright, so we haven't been to the Mii Forest yet, so we're going to activate our stone here. And there's how you know if you've activated it or not. Before you can even teleport, it'll tell you activation complete, you may now use this stone. But because this is story-driven right now, we can't. Oh well, this one's like actually like in the middle of the map. That's rather interesting. Alright, so basically we want to head up this way because this looks like the only other zone in and out section of the map. So to simplify the answer to your question, whether you use a character or not, they will still level up. So no character has to be sitting there. So you don't have to sit there and grind for level upon levels to use them. You might just need to use them for a little bit to get them 1 or 2 levels to catch them up to yours and the people that you've been using more regularly, but they will stay within a couple levels of your own.
クエストに関係しそうなダンジョンですか。
この辺り一帯は1000年くらい前は違う地名だったらしいんだ。そしてこのダンジョンは昔の地名が付けられている。
つまり遥か昔から存在するってことだね。
Oh, Sugo.
まあ設定上はな。
前のクエストで伝承っぽいものが見つかったことがあったし、調べてみる価値はあるわね。
よし、進んでみよう。
奥に部屋がありますよ。
見て、あそこにあるのって成績じゃない？
やったー！ビンゴですね。
And thus we come across the third stone.
うわー！石が光り出した。
プレミアに反応しているのね。
神秘的ですね。
これで成績は3つ目だ。
お待たせしました。
お疲れ様、プレミア。
さてと、うまいこと結果を出せたところで町に戻りましょうか。
町に戻る前に寄ってほしいところがあるんですけど、いいですか？進めているクエストでどうしても必要な素材があって。
まだ時間はあるし、私は別に構わないわよ。
俺もだ。素材集めに協力するよ。
ありがとうございます。私もいいけど、その前にちょっといい？
I like that line. Many hands, light work, that sort of thing.
どうした？
ほら、ここにも伝承みたいなものがないかなって思って。
Ah, that's a good point, Lisa.
ああ、なるほど。前にあったような文章があればいいんだけど。
見渡す限り、それらしいものは見当たりませんね。
ということは次へのヒントもなしか。
地道に歩き回るしかないみたいですね。前から思っていたんだけど、プレミアちゃんのクエストってあまりにヒントが少なすぎる気がしない？
まあ確かに。
なんていうか、まだ奥があるのにそれを途中で止めたっていうか。
途中で止めた。
Oh, that's a very interesting point she brings up with
私がどうかしま
how
したか？
NPC has been.
なあ、いや、なんでもないんだ。じゃあシリカが必要な素材を集めに行こうか。
わかりました。行きましょう。
私もて
了解。プレミアスイッチだ。
わかりました。えい。
Switching is actually a
Nice,
mechanic
Premier.
you can use in battle. I just tend to forget it's there and not really use it too much. It's kind of more if you think you're having trouble dealing damage. Because it's kind of like switching out and having someone else jump in to do damage. And their weapon might be able to do more.
必要な数は集まったか?
Yes, there is a switch battle command. Basically what you do, it's not really an animation. You saw how I was dodging around in the boss fight. Basically when you hit switch, you dodge backwards, and one of your party members dodges/dashes forwards towards the enemy and starts attacking. It's not so much a character swap as it is switching the person that's fighting, in general.
それにしてもプレミアちゃんは随分戦闘に慣れてきたみたいですね。
だろ？なかなかいい筋をしているんだよ。
お茶の子さいさいです。
Yeah, it's pretty simple.
なんかリズさんみたいなことを言っていますね。
I'm pretty sure anything that you might find like complicated with the systems and battling and everything is covered in your tutorials. And towards the bottom of your menu when you hit start is the tutorial option to go through all of the tutorials they give you. So you can always look at them again if something slips your mind or you forget about it, or you get confused about it when they first show it.
ちょっと悪ぐ違い
ますよ。でも本当に成長したって感じだよね。戦闘だけじゃなくて雰囲気とかも。
初めて会った時に比べたら随分違うわよね。
Yeah, switching isn't more about switching the character you're controlling. Switching is about stepping back to avoid damage and letting someone else deal the damage and take the aggro. But you do have character traits and their affections that'll make them take aggro and be the tank.
みんなの影響か。
Planner and Warlike will do that. Planner makes them a support tank, so they debuff to draw aggro, and then Warlike makes them use aggressive combos and damage to draw aggro.
よーし、今日こそぶっ倒そうぜ。この作戦ならうまくいくべ。
プレイヤーの団体だ。
10人くらいいるわね。
ボスクラスのモンスターでも討伐しに行くんですかね。
いや、クエストをやっているんじゃないかな。パーティーに NPC が入っていたし。
すごっ、この距離からよくわかるね。
プレイヤーとか NPC ってつい観察しちゃうんだよ。どんな
関心関心、そういうとこ武器屋に向いてるわね。なんなら私が師匠になって火事のイロハをみっちり叩き込んでもいいわよ。
遠慮しとくよ。
ところでさっきの人たちは何のクエストを攻略しに行ったんでしょうね。
If you really liked SAO, Angel, one of the things you'll enjoy that happens at one point is you get a cutscene quest like this. It's not part of Premier's quest, but it deals with a quest that Asuna and Kirito go on. And they run into Kismil, who's a main NPC in the quest. And there's some really interesting stuff kind of linking it back to SAO in that quest with what's going on. And I won't say much more than that because it might potentially ruin something and spoil the interest in it.
あの NPC のクエストは確か炭鉱高に行って住み着いたモンスターを倒すってもののはずだけど。
なるほど、討伐系のクエストですか。
炭鉱ということは上質の家事素材が手に入ったりするの？
全然。至って普通の素材が手に入るだけなの。
あれ？リズさんも知っているんですか？そのこと。
当然。炭鉱が舞台だって聞いたら気になるじゃない？やっぱ。
じゃあ効率の悪いクエストなんですね。
まあいや、レベルが低いうちは報酬を得ればそれなりの稼ぎになるんだよ。別に高くないけど。
でもさっきの人たちかなり大掛かりなパーティーだったよね。
簡単なクエストのはずなのに、あの人数って明らかにおかしいですよ。
あれ、そういえば考えてみると炭鉱のある場所ってこの辺りじゃないわ。
それじゃあさっきの人たちは何をしていたんだろう。
あっちの方って何かあったっけ？
あの方角は、そうか、分かったぞ。急いで追いかけよう。
ちょっとどういうことよ。
ネームドモンスター狩りだ。彼らはネームドモンスターと戦うのに NPC をおとりにするつもりなんだよ。
Oh. No wonder the music got so dire. I'm not going to say anything about why that's so bad, because that's all more story events that you're told as time goes on.
NPC をおとりに？あれだけプレイヤーがいるのに？
少し前にアルゴから聞いたんだ。モンスターはかなり高レベルだし。
かなり高レベルって、そんな相手に NPC をおとりにしたら。な
あ、だから急ぐぞ。
よし、このまま NPC にヘイトを取らせるぞ。
I've been enjoying it.
NPC が狙われ始めた。
ちょっと待ってくれ。
I'd say if you like SAO and you like this style of story-driven RPG with a lot of scenes, you'll like it.
おい、なんだあんたたち。今
分かってます。
ネームドモンスター相手におとりなんてさせたら。
それがなんだよ。NPC なんだからどうなろうが問題ねえだろ。
このゲームで NPC が命を落とすと、その NPC は二度とリポップしないって知ってるの？
知ってるけど、ちゃんと同じ役回りで他のキャラがポップするだろ。
そういうことじゃなくて、
このゲームでは割と効率のいい戦法なんだ。俺たち以外にもやってるやつはいるぜ。
Oh wow, this is very vindictive.
それにこの方法ならブルーカーソルにもならないしな。
なあ、やっぱおとりなんてやめようぜ。
はあ？何言ってんだよお前。
だってよ、 NPC だって言っても死んじまったらそいつ二度といなくなるんだぜ。
まあ、あまりいい気分はしねえよな。
I'm glad a couple of these other players are kind of seeing how bad this is.
そうですよ。
NPC だぞ。 本気で言ってんのか？
なあ、あんたたち。
なんだよ、やんのか？
いや、そうじゃない。あんたたちのやろうとしていることが攻略法の一つなのは分かっている。だから止めようってわけじゃないんだ。ただ俺たちにこの戦闘を手伝わせてくれないか。
手伝うだ？
ああ、俺たちは別に報酬はいらない。一緒に戦わせてくれるだけでラストアタックも譲るし、ドロップしたアイテムも全部差し出す。
NPC のために報酬もなく戦うのか？
そうだ。
どうするよ。
Wow, Kirito. That's pretty intense.
理由はどうあれ人は多い方がいい。手伝ってもらおうぜ。分かった。全員を頼んでいいか？
了解。任せてくれ。リサちゃん側面から、俺とプレミアは正面から攻める。
オッケーよ。それじゃ始めましょう。
プレミア行くぞ。
はい、わかります。
おい、そいつも NPC じゃないか。
違うよ、仲間だ。
仲間？
さあ戦闘開始だ。
I thought they were gonna actually have us fight it.
お疲れ様。
そっちもご苦労様。
これだけの人数がいてもかなり手こずったね。
アルゴさんの話の通り、かなりの強敵でした。お疲れ様。
ナイス活躍だったよ、プレミア。
はい、お茶の子さいさいです。
おい、あんたら。
なあ、報酬を渡すよ。さすがに分配された経験値は渡せないけどさ。
おう。
飛び入りだったけどうまいこと戦闘が噛み合ったな。
おかげで犠牲者はゼロだった。 NPC を含めて。
手を貸してくれてありがとうな。おかげで後味の悪い思いをしなくて済んだよ。
うん、よかったよ。
大した戦い方だったな、あんたの仲間全員とも。また機会があったら一緒に戦おう。
オッケー、いつでも声かけてくれ。
よし、みんな引き上げよう。
NPC も連れて帰ってくれるみたいですね。
あ
嬉しそうですね。
プレミアやみんなが協力してくれて犠牲者を出さずに済んだからだよ。
つまり私たちはいいことをした。
まあ嫌がられてはいないみたいだったな。
戦いを始める前、あの人たちの間でいざこざが起きましたが、あれは
難しい話だな。少なくとも俺はあの剣士の可能性が消されることに納得ができなかった。
可能性？
例えばさ、俺とプレミアが明日出かけた先でとても美味しい果実を見つけるかもしれない。すごく綺麗な景色を眺めることができるかもしれない。面白いことが起きて二人で笑い続けるかもしれない。そうした可能性は誰にでもあるものだと俺は思っているんだ。
誰にでもある可能性、それを守りたかった。
ああ、それを勝手な都合で奪うことは俺はしたくないし、あの人たちの中にもそう思う人がいた。
だから言い争いをしていた。
ああ、プレミアにもあるだろ、可能性。
私にもある。
さあ、俺たちも戻ろうか。歩き回って戦闘して腹が減っちゃったよ。
は
VR の研究として開発されたこのゲームはいわば人間の都合で作られた世界だ。その世界の NPC たちはみんな AI 化され限りある命として設定されている。人の都合により作り上げた世界の中で人の勝手で消されていく命。今の俺は目の届く範囲でしか NPC のことを守ることはできない。だけど根本的に解決するためには絶対に人の力が必要なはずだ。その答えがわかるまでは今はできることをやっていくしかない。
Stage, I might find more areas tied to the bus. Let's keep moving. Alright, so it's a little past 10 now, and I do have to be up for work. Not to mention I still have to go downstairs, throw shirts in the dryer, then grab those before I go to bed too.
Oh, アルゴか。
最近噂になっているみたいじゃないか。さすがだな。
Someone earlier was saying apparently there is an add-on you can get for this that adds like a really tough endgame boss and some materials to make really high-end equipment, or enhance the really high-end equipment, or something along those lines. I'm pretty sure that the deluxe edition came with everything, because when he said that it only came with the season pass, this actually came with more than the season pass. So I don't think he knew everything. Well, I'll sit through this conversation with Argo before I end up logging off Angel. So not quite done yet, and I still have to finish doing the sign-off as well, so there's still a bit of time. I will say that I won't be streaming this during October, because I have a couple of games I'm going to do for Halloween, and the sense of everything like dealing with spooky and scary stuff in Halloween over October. So this will be the last time I do this for at least 30 days, because October starts tomorrow. I've been hearing a few rumors of that, but looks like you haven't changed one bit.
俺が噂に？変な噂じゃないよな。
なんだ、知らないのか。心配するな、いい噂だよ。NPC を守りながらネームドモンスターを倒したんだろ。しかも同じ NPC であるプレミアと協力して。
なあ、そのことか。確かに協力して戦ったけど、噂になっているのか。
Yep, glad you enjoyed it. If, like I was saying, if you want to see the other stream, it is highlighted, and the entirety of it is still on video on demand, because it won't disappear for about a week. So if you want to watch the previous stream separated into the two highlights, or just watch the entire thing, you can, to see more of it. And I'll have this one highlighted as well so that it doesn't disappear completely. But I'll probably end up doing that tomorrow.
NPC に面白半分で手を出すやつがいたり、嫌な話が多かったからな。これを機に NPC をおとりにする考えを改めるプレイヤーが増えるかもしれないぞ。
だといいんだけどな。
よう、てめえが噂のプレイヤーか。はあ。 いまいち冴えねえな。
お前はジェネシス？
俺のこと知ってんだな。まあ当たり前か。
いろんな意味で評判になっているぞ。
言うね。ただ今はお前の噂で持ちきりだ。
Not going to mention anything about Genesis here. That's kind of more something that's kind of revealing itself in the story as you go.
別に大したことはしていないよ。みんなでモンスターを討伐しただけだ。
おいおいおいおい、謙遜すんなって。そこそこの戦闘をしたから噂になってんだろ。興味あるね。どんだけてめえが強いのか。
知ってどうする？デュエルでもやるつもりか？
威勢はいいね。けどデュエルでてめえに勝ったところで大した自慢にもならねえよ。ま、今日は挨拶ってところだ。長く持つといいな、ヒーローの噂がよ。
なんだ、すっかり目をつけられたみたいだな。
目立ちたかったわけじゃないんだけどな。
前にも話した通り、相当な実力の持ち主だから、ボケっとしてると攻略を横取りされるぞ。
そういえばあいつが戦うところを見たよ。確かに戦闘慣れはしていたけど、アルゴが言うような異常さはなかったぞ。
そうなのか？だとすると本気を見せていないのか、それとも俺っちが見た時は何か訳ありだったのか。何にしても噂が絶えないのは事実だ。用心しておくんだな。
ああ、分かったよ。
Okay, now that we're done with all the scenes and dialogue, about time I get off, because I still have to throw my shirts for work in the dryer and pull those out later on, so it's going to take me a decent while to do and settle down for the night. Glad you stopped by, Angel, and enjoyed the game and the stream. I'm glad I was able to answer questions for you in a fashion that answered them enough to give you a solid understanding. Yep, no problem. Like I said, I'm going to be streaming over October, but I probably won't be streaming this game again for a while. So if you want to stop by those streams, you're more than welcome. I'll be streaming, like I said, I'll be streaming a couple games in the, what the heck is the phrasing? In the spirit of the month for October, so if you're in the mood for something spooky and possibly scary, stop by again during the upcoming month here. And you are very welcome. Always nice to make a follower out of someone. I tend not to stream too often at times, just because work kind of tires me out most of the time. But I'm gonna try to start streaming a little more often, maybe a couple times a month at most. And maybe more than that as I get more into the swing of doing it more often. But that is going to be the end of it for tonight, viewers. I hope you've been enjoying this, whether you're watching now or watching later in the VOD or highlights. As I was saying, we won't be coming back to this for a while, but I probably will still stream it more as time goes on. But I have plans for other games in the season, or in the spirit of the season for October, so those will be coming up in the next couple of days. I'll start that this week, maybe stream once or twice, and then throughout the month, we shall continue those until at least the one of them is done. Yep, thanks Angel, means a lot. You have a good night as well, or day, whichever part of the world you're in. And I will catch everyone the next time we come back to Twitch, where we will be tackling a different game. I can say that for certain at the moment. I am by no means done with this though. I will be finishing it and going into post-game and checking that out and seeing this game in its entirety and what it has to offer, because I've really been enjoying it. So, until then, I'll catch you all in the next stream. Goodbye.